Mr. Vishal Shah. Mr. Shah is an architect, interior designer, and urban designer, and a founder partner at Aangan Architects. The array of projects he has executed ranges from small interior design installations to large urban design initiatives. A professor at the renowned Institute of IDPT-SCET based in Surat, India, he is instrumental in teaching and formulating new learning systems in the ever-changing design educations. Currently, he is closely working with international urban and regional cooperation programs initiated by European Union for addressing issues pertaining to climate change and for achieving sustainable urbanization. Today, he'll present his project Samruddhi, a residential project completed in 2021.
So I'll take you all through this very interesting journey of designing this very compact residence in Surat. As you all know, Surat is one of the fastest growing cities for last 2 decades in the whole of the world with a very rapid urbanization. But at the same time, it also faces a lot of issues related to urban flooding. At the same time, the floods of 2006 were very, very critical, and it kind of changed the landscape, the way houses are made in Surat. So this is one such house that we are presenting over here, which is on a very compact plot of around 190 square meters only. And with that, almost all the requirements that any bungalow or a villa project should have, it kind of comes in as a given thing. So the clients wanted almost around 4 to 5 bedrooms, and with that, they wanted to have yoga spaces and a lot of other small activities to kind of support a family of 5. This entire project kind of started with the questioning of what sort of urban environment should we get into the house. So, a very small and a compact floor plate of almost around 400 and I would say 41 feet by 35 feet was available for construction, and almost around 4,300 square feet of construction was to be done. So the ask was quite steep, and this was located into a very congested area, which was planned almost 20 years back, and they wanted to kind of demolish the old house where they used to live and come up with this new property. So, we were also toying with the whole idea, but one thing that we wanted to have was rootedness to the whole Indian traditional architecture of having courtyards and all. And it's not just a fashion statement or a style statement, but yes, we know the benefits of having a courtyard into the house and kind of bringing in light into the house. So the whole sustainability thing comes from this, and it is very important for us to understand that natural light and the permeable facade will come in very, very handy when it comes to the and humid climate of the city of Surat. Similarly, the introduction of the courtyard, because it was a south-facing plot and we would have any days liked a north orientation, but because we had limited resources in terms of spaces available, and at the same time the orientation was also not favoring, we introduced the courtyard at the northern side, which is actually at the back side of the house. Of course, we had no views on all the 4 sides, because even the front road was only a 6-meter wide road, and immediately you could see another house in front. So there was nothing that was offered in terms of a very banal side that we had. So what we did was we introduced the courtyard and made the house and its interiors charming enough and interactive enough, so that the whole requirement of natural connection or connection to the outside was sufficed by the house itself. So this is what it is like when we look at the house from outside. This is the front lane, the 6-meter lane that I was talking about, and it kind of faces straight, and it's like dead on the road. And we wanted to have screening so that visual privacy is achieved, but at the same time we wanted enough of perforation to allow wind and light to come into this. The whole perforated facade, which kind of is on the southern side and the western side, is also kind of very climate responsive. So there are 2 major materials that we have used in this. One is the bricks, and another one is exposed concrete. And the same thing also kind of follows in the interiors of the house. So again, a very important thing that we had to do in this project was exploration in the volume, wherein we wanted to have enough of flow of air into the house, at the same time bringing in light. And there was a lot of interaction which was also induced, because otherwise in a very small floor plate it becomes very difficult to have interaction between different levels. Since we had 3 generations living over here, we wanted to have enough of interaction during the entire day between all these 3 levels, so that it is easier for communication, as well as monitoring can be done when the kids are studying, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the photographs of the interior of the house, wherein the indoor plantation, the greenery which was there, also started contributing to the visual treat for the people who are using the internal spaces, but at the same time providing enough of privacy for everyone to have their own time. The section from the courtyard, but like we wanted to have a triple heighted courtyard which allowed light, but at the same time were also kind of transferring the hot air at the upper level. So turbo ventilators were introduced, and louvers which were hand operated even at the higher level were introduced into this, wherein which allowed enough of cross ventilation. As I already mentioned, it's very important in case of Surat to have cross ventilation because of the humid nature of climate over here. So this is the kind of feel that we get when we are experiencing the indoors. There is enough of openness, enough of interaction across the levels, and at the same time, a lot of light which comes in, which kind of establishes a connect with the nature. Indoor plantation again is becoming a very, very important aspect in today's time to kind of establish a clean air quality inside the house also. At the same time, to have a visual treat, to have enough of variation into otherwise very, very mundane environments that we live into. The interaction, as I mentioned, is what happens during in these transition spaces across the levels and on the floor plates also. You can see the interaction happening at all the 3 levels, wherein you have study areas or just a small jharoka kind of a balcony, which is actually looking into the courtyard. So courtyard, though being an internal space, acts as an outdoors. So you have something to look into, even you are though into a very, very compact environment or a congested surroundings. Very simple floor plans were designed, wherein we had 4 corners allocated to 4 different functions across, one corner becoming the courtyard, the staircase as the central pivotal point, so that we utilize least amount of space in circulation from one place to another, and at the same time allowing all the other rooms also to have an exposure, at least 2 sides of exposure. So a compact plan, very functionally done, and allowing enough of natural elements into each of the indoor spaces. This is just one example which I would like to share, wherein at the corners, when you have windows, and though you are screening the entire house, but still enough of light, ventilation, and views are what you are offered when you are into the room. These are all taken during the daytime, so you don't require any light in the entire house. And that's where we kind of, when we say it is rooted to the place, and we are looking at the sustainability from its design level, from the grassroots level, and not only just as a rating system. So that is something which we propagate, and the design kind of follows. So a very simplistic material palette of brick and exposed concrete, which also kind of is the outside language, and what is offered even inside. So though a very conventional plate, it is played around by exploring variations in forms and surfaces, such that they become an aesthetical canvas. So use of inclined bricks, or maybe kind of just protruding some of them, creating patterns, brings in a lot of interest into this material, and it kind of gives us the required variation. The Courtyard has got these operatable louvers, so which allows us the flexibility to guide the wind movement. The upper level are operated through a custom designed mechanical system, which was kind of again fabricated on site to kind of make the operation and maintenance very, very easy. And again, the heart of this entire design is the court and the open spaces that the court offers throughout the floor plate. So thank you very much. That's from my side.
It is very impressive. Also, can you tell us what are you taking up for this coming year? What kind of challenges is there in your hand?
I would like to share, instead I would like to share, because I think the mail was also talking about how we were able to do this during the pandemic times. And it is very interesting to know, we started this project in October 2019. So almost when we were in our 6th month of execution, and this project was done from scratch to finish, from all the civil work to the interiors and all. So after 6 months, we were kind of facing the lockdown, a complete lockdown for almost around 2 to 3 months, and then we slowly started recovering from this. So in fact, this entire project kind of happened during the lockdown, except for the first 6 months. And still we were able to finish this entire project by April 2021. So it was something like a great achievement even for us, because we were able to channelize things in a safe manner, like coordinating with the agencies whenever we had people who were present in the town and we were able to work. So the entire work and the program management was done in a way so that we have limited people at a time, but at the same time the work also keeps on going. So that was something which we learned as a part of this pandemic, and how we can even come out. So except for the 3 months that we lost during the complete lockdown, there was no other time that was lost, and we were able to deliver the project in time. So similar things that from this, whatever we have learned, we are trying to take that further into our projects in coming times, and we are working at various scales, from urban to interior level projects, and that's something which Aangan Architects has always been doing, like kind of bringing in creativity at all these scales. Thank you.
That's really inspiring, Mr. Vishal, and thank you so much for encouraging all of us in this industry.